Do you need an iron sulfur filter to fix that nasty well water at your home, cottage, or cabin? Not sure where to start? Looking for some advice from the pros? Relax, this buyer's guide is for you. Hi, I'm Gary the Water Guy, and I simplify water filtration to help you conquer crappy water for your family. Today, Anna's here from our customer service team. She's going to help me share with you what you should be looking for in an iron and sulfur filter for your family. By the end of this video, you'll know what to look for, what type you'll need, where to find it, and definitely what to avoid. So I'm here with Anna today. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you.
And Anna's with our customer service department, and she helps a lot of you folks that email in with your specific questions about what do I need to fix my water. So I thought she's the perfect person to be involved today with this buyer's guide, and she's going to share with you her wisdom on some of the things to look for when you're shopping for water filtration for your family. Anna, let's talk about iron and sulfur filters. What do they do, first of all?
They get rid of stinky water. They get rid of iron. Iron is usually what gives that orange staining happening in your fixtures, in your toilet, or you can sometimes even smell like it smells like blood, like metal. And if you're drinking it, you definitely taste it for sure. So that's what the iron and sulfur filters get rid of. Yeah. And ours are chemical free. They're air injection systems. There are no filters to replace, virtually no maintenance.
And by the way, to determine the best iron sulfur filter for your family and your water chemistry, there's a number of factors that need to be considered. I've got a great YouTube video that explains the whole thing. I'll put a link in the description down below. So like I say, we have a few different models and it depends on a few different parameters, but what's best for you. And if you're not 100% sure, just send us an email. We'll help figure that out for you. So let's talk about some different types of iron and sulfur filters.
Well, there's chemical injection out there, which we don't do, but they are out there. There's ozone systems, which I also am not too familiar with.
We used to sell ozone systems many years ago, and the problem is they were used in conjunction with these valves. Well, the problem was these valves are not compatible with ozone. When they get ozone into it, starts to break down the plastics, and then you have problems. And ozone, it was kind of sold as kind of, it does a whole pile of things, and a lot of the things they said it did, it really didn't do. So we're more on the chemical-free side, right?
And then the green sand systems, they're an older system.
Yeah, older technology. They use a chemical powder that once it's dissolved in water, it becomes a chemical called potassium permanganate. And what that does, it's a real heavy-duty oxidizer. Now, they worked really well at getting rid of iron and sulfur, but the problem was that potassium permanganate ends up in your septic system, which is far worse than any chlorine you could put in your septic system. So it's really hard on the septic system. So we've really gotten away from that years ago, because they were quite problematic. What are some common questions people ask about these things?
How do they work? Again, you have great videos explaining exactly how they work. People often ask also, if I get an iron filter, an FOC, an FOB, do I still need a water softener? And yes, unfortunately, if you have hard water, an iron filter is not going to soften the water. So you would still need a water softener. Can I install myself? That's another common question, which many people can. It's similar to a water softener. If you can't do it, a plumber can easily do it. They're not complicated to install. Gary does also have installation videos on them.
Yeah, and the thing is, installation-wise, they're actually even easier to install than a water softener.
Right.
So anyone that's ever installed a water softener can install a chemical-free iron filter, no problem. So again, what should people be looking for when they're shopping for an iron filter?
One thing that's really important before you purchase, we encourage you to reach out to us for us to help you determine what size you would need based on your water chemistry, and also very important, do you have enough flow rate to accommodate one of these systems? Because if you don't, then they won't work, because they won't be able to self-clean. So it's very, very important that we confirm your flow rate to make sure that one of these guys will work for you.
To help determine the best iron and sulfur filter for your family, you will need to know the flow rate that's coming from your well pump. If you don't know that, I've got a great YouTube video that shows you how to figure it out for yourself. I'll put a link in the description down below.
And then you want to make sure that, again, it's made in North America for higher quality and a longer lasting system, non-proprietary, so that you can get replacement parts if and when needed. You may want to make sure to avoid big box stores, again, for the same reasons we mentioned previously. They don't offer any support. Getting replacement parts is very complicated.
Some of the big box stores will sell something called water conditioner or something like that, and it'll say that it gets rid of sand, it gets rid of iron, it gets rid of sulfur, it does all these things, you know, and it might do a little bit of that, but it's not an actual iron filter.
Right.
And then again, people get stuck with these things and it doesn't do what they want it to do, and then it becomes a big problem. And I definitely encourage you to check out our chemical-free, air-over media, iron and sulfur filters. That's what I have in my home for my family. So once someone's decided to invest in an iron sulfur filter like one of our FOB, FOCs, or FOKs, what should they expect once they get it home?
Well, they are pretty silent most of the time, but when they do regenerate, so when they do their self-cleaning, they're a little noisy.
The first 5 seconds.
Yeah, just in the beginning. So you want to make sure that you program it to self-clean at a time that's not going to be disturbing, you know, for example, wake you up or something like that.
That's right. So we have an FOK in our house, so we never hear it, like going off at night. But, you know, if it's a situation where it's in a basement and there's a bedroom next door, they might very well hear it. So then it would just have to be programmed for a different time. What else do they need to be concerned about?
So these guys need to regenerate every 3 days. They have to be on a set schedule. If you do have a water softener and a UV system, these go before that. It'll go iron filter, water softener, UV. You have a really good video actually on that explains the order that everything goes in. So that's very helpful if you have multiple filtration systems.
Because it's important which goes first, which goes second, and things like that to get the maximum life out of your system, and that's what we encourage here. So we've got a nice review here, and this one's from Lance. Gary reviewed our well water lab report and recommended this iron filter as part of a new water filtration system. It's a game changer. All that nasty rotten egg smell is gone, and so is the orange stain in the toilet tank from iron in the water. No chemicals needed and simple to set up and operate. Thanks for your business, Lance, and thanks for that nice review. We appreciate that. And if you're looking for more information about iron and sulfur filters, I definitely encourage you to check out our websites, watereStore.com in the US or watereStore.ca in Canada. We offer free shipping and discount pricing. Click here for your next video on iron and sulfur filters, and I'll see you there. Any questions or comments? Add them down below.